Jameis Winston's the starting quarterback for the New York Giants in Week 11 against the Packers. Jackson Dart's not going to play because of a concussion, as Winston is now QB1, passing Russell Wilson on the team step chart.
I want fans to know that I'm going to do my best. Obviously I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to execute, have a surgical execution, and just play ball, man. Like, this is something I've been doing since I've been 4 years old, and I just get to do it in the greatest city in the world. I'm going to be saying it with my son. It's the greatest city in the world. Yeah, that's a Hamilton reference if y'all don't know. Yeah, 10-year reunion.
Winston, yes, back at the starting quarterback spot. Brock Purdy could be getting closer. The 49ers quarterback was limited in practice today. No practice for Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud. Lamar Jackson didn't practice for the Ravens, but he is expected to practice tomorrow and start Sunday against Cleveland. Clippers guard Bradley Beal done for the year with a fractured hip. I'm Dan Byer.
Hey, that's us.
Yo!
Hop along, Dickie Tejas live from Texas. Look at you, man. Riding the pony with your Worst Fest hat on.
What's up, man?
The rest of us live in Los Angeles. The Fox Sports Radio studios. Danny G. Spotty Boy getting ready for midweek major. Turning your hump day into a hump night. With the biggest stories in sports and pop culture, we decide, are they mid-stories, weak stories, major headlines? Iowa Sam is here on the ones and twos. Dan Byer, the great Dan Byer, is here hanging with us. And, man, there's some breaking news to kick off the show in the world of fighting. But first, we be rocking it out. Let's go.
Yo, I have theories about so much stuff today. We got to talk about Jameis Winston. A hypothetical about Gronk. We're going to talk some NFL. But, yeah, Covino, you're the fight guy. So I hand it off to you, my friend. What is the big fight news?
Don't hand it off to me. Josh Allen. Let's see what you got. We're going to talk Josh Allen and Jordan Love, too. Are they overrated? Okay. Overrated? That's what I'm hearing in the news. Overrated. I don't know. We live in a world today where we're just label crazy. We need to label everything and label everybody. And, one week you're this, the next week you're something else. We'll figure it out together on the show. Just know, though, if you miss any of today's awesomeness, the awesome sauce known as Covino and Rich, be sure to check our podcast, follow, rate, and review for free. Rate it 5 stars. Tell your friends about it. And remember, our show is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA. And right now, get this. Use promo code CRSHOW to claim your special offer at DraftKings. Again, that's promo code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Yeah. Label us your 2 favorite buffoons on the radio. Now, Covino.
Yeah.
I was as bummed as everyone else when they said Jake Paul is not going to fight because Tank Davis is in legal trouble, and then they were trying to replace him. Is it going to be Ngannou or this guy or that guy? And it just seems like fight is dead. But there's a big but. I know you like big butts.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Danny G likes big butts, too. Who doesn't is my question. The big but is now this. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Now, that's more like it. As Rocky Balboa said, hey, how about you pick on someone your own size? Absolutely. Because that was such a weird, odd mismatch of a 200-pound Jake Paul. I think the max weight was 195 or something like that. And a 135-pound soaking wet Tank Davis, who's 5'5". Now, Anthony Joshua.
Not right.
This is a test. Anthony Joshua, though, however, is on his way out of boxing. He's sort of boxing himself out of a career. 28-4 in 32 fights. I think he's got 25 knockouts, something like that. But his last few fights, if you guys remember, it all went downhill after he lost to Andy Ruiz.
Well, before he lost to the taquito-eating Mexican baller named Andy Ruiz.
The first ever Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. I'll never forget that day. I was jumping around like Andy Ruiz in excitement, but that was 2019. Then he beat Andy Ruiz, and then a lot of ups and downs since.
But before that, if you remember, I know it seems like a long, long time ago. Feel me? It was a long time ago, but there was a moment where Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury were the three-headed monster of the heavyweight division. And Anthony Joshua is like a legend overseas. So
Legend, you're right.
this is a big pull, dude, for Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua, let me just let you know, Anthony Joshua is 36. He's no longer the spring chicken he was a decade ago.
And he's sort of punch drunk a little bit. He's got a lot of battle wounds and a lot of wear and tear. He's fought some really tough fights. He lost to Alexander Usyk twice in 2021 and in 2022 in the rematch. He lost to Daniel Dubois most recently in 2024.
Well, hold up. No one's beating Usyk. That guy is unbelievable. So
and
that's no
tough.
shame there.
Dubois is tough too, but again, you're right. Anthony Joshua came with that hype. He was the next big thing. They were hoping for a Fury bout in Wembley. Can he still sell it out? Probably, because he's such a hero. Where is it going to take place? We don't know. This is still in development, and we'll give you the updates.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Here's the question. If this does go down, and they sign the dotted line, and they got George Washington Duke and Don King and all the promoters I imagine in my head there, is this fun, easy money for a guy like Anthony Joshua that's fought his whole life to get to the elite level? Or is there something embarrassing and humiliating about, you going to fight Jake Paul, dude?
Yeah. I'm sure there's other analogies, like if you're an actor and you're in Sharknado, it's safe to say your career's not doing well. I think if you're a boxer, a legitimate...
What if you're an actor and you're in the new Kim Kardashian show?
Yeah, like if you're Glenn Close, which I have no idea why she's on that new Kim Kardashian show. You're sort of just like desperate for attention or something. I don't know. There's a star-studded cast on that show. But if you're fighting Jake Paul and you're a legitimate fighter, I think that you're sort of on your way out of legitimate boxing and you're now part of a circus sideshow. And you're not going to be taken as serious as you should be moving forward. Here's the update, and we'll take your phone calls on that thought. 877-99 on Fox. Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul are nearing a deal for a December heavyweight showdown streaming on Netflix. This is per Ring Magazine, and this is, again, after the cancellation against Gervonta Davis. So this is still in development as we speak, and there's a lot of people speaking out on it. And Turki Al-Sheikh also spoke out, Rich, but what were you going to say?
In December, you said?
Yeah.
On Christmas Day in Russia?
Absolutely. No, I didn't get details on what day yet, but people are buzzing. If you scroll through social media, there's a lot of people talking about this because, again, Jake Paul is showing that he's going to walk the talk and he'll fight a legitimate, or what used to be a legitimate heavyweight contender.
Well, don't say he's not legitimate anymore, but here's the question.
Well, dude, if he was going to fight 135-pound Tank Davis, that's not really proving a whole lot to me. If he's going to fight a guy who's his size and is a legitimate fighter, or was a legitimate fighter, Anthony Joshua, now we're talking. Yeah, now this is, going to size up where he really is in the sport.
Yeah, this is the best litmus test ever for Jake Paul. For all the people that say, well, is he ever going to fight like a real fighter? Yo, Anthony Joshua is a champion.
Well,
Anthony
he's done
Joshua.
That. I think the Gervonta Davis was a step backwards as far as sideshow, even though that's debatable because a lot of people were saying, no, man, Gervonta's quick and he's tough and he's going to beat him. I was not sure about that just because of the size differential.
Yeah, but when you say Anthony Joshua is going to get in the ring with Jake Paul, if this goes down, this is a legit fight for Jake Paul. It's not like he's 56-year-old Mike Tyson. This is 36-year-old, not far removed from being elite. Anthony Joshua, he lost a step, but you're telling me you'd get in the ring with Anthony Joshua?
Oh, hell no.
But here's the question. I want to know, is there any coming back from this? Let me explain. If you're Anthony Joshua, once you enter the sideshow world of Ringling Brothers and Jake Paul Circus, do you fight regular fights after that? Because if you make $40, $50, $100 million, you get the payday of your life to be a part of this circus fight against Jake Paul. Netflix, everything. do you then fight like a Dubois again next year? Like, I don't think
No.
you fight regular fights again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you're fighting yourself out of the game of legitimacy. And you could say, well, it's prize fighting, and he's fighting for the biggest prize. Take the money and do your thing. That's the weird part of the story and where we are in the sport. And not just this sport, a lot of sports. And as far as tail the tape, Rich already said it. Joshua's 36, former heavyweight champ, 6'6", 245. That's a big difference from a Tank Davis, a 5'5", 135. So again, 6'6", 245. Jake Paul about 6 foot, 6'1", and he could get well into the 200-pound range. I'm sure he could beef up to about 230, 240. Now, Turkey Al-Sheikh has spoken out. He's the guy with all the money that's making all these crazy fights happen. He says, me and Jake Paul are thinking about doing him against Anthony Joshua now. If Joshua destroys him, it will be good for me. The headache of Jake Paul is finished because, again, he's stirring it up, Bob Marley style. He's shaking up the game. He's being a pest, a problem child. And he says, if Joshua destroys him, it'll be good for me because the headache of Jake Paul is finished. If Jake wins, I will know Joshua is finished and Jake deserves a ranking and a future boxing bout. Jake accepted, and next week I'm going to talk with Anthony Joshua about it. So Jake has already accepted the fight, and they're in talks with Anthony Joshua as we speak. So will he jump on that bag? Will he go for the money, or is this beneath him at that point? That's really what it comes down to. Like, do you think you're too good for that? Do you think you're too good for that, even though the money is greater than any other amount you're probably going to see moving forward in the actual sport?
There's one key layer to this, and it answers the question. How old is Anthony Joshua? 36.
Yeah.
His fighting prime is behind him. You take the money, you retire, you feed generations of your family. The Joshua family's future and stars are blessed. You make tens of millions of dollars. Thank you, Jake Paul, for letting me whoop your ass. Or even if he loses, that's one fight. He would.
Yeah, but you lose, man. You lose all credibility. That's the other part, right? You got the world of boxing on your shoulders. You can't lose to Jake
Mike
Paul.
Tyson once told us, like, legacy and all that, that matters to you, not me. Like, Mike Tyson doesn't seem to care. Certain fighters and athletes don't care as much as fans.
That's true. No, you're right about that. And you know what? As far as, like, you got to be a really, I don't say really hardcore, but you got to be a fight fan to know Anthony Joshua. Again, Rich already said, but he's a guy that made his name and his career overseas. Just like Drago was to Russia, Joshua was to England. It was him and Fury. Everyone was all hyped about him and Fury for years and years and years. By taking this fight, not only is he getting paid, but he will get that shine that he's always deserved. Like, I don't think that he's a household name here in the States unless you're a fight fan. I
think Anthony Joshua is a hell of a lot more of a household name than some of these other boxers you mentioned that you think we should know.
Well, because he's a heavyweight.
Anthony Joshua, there's a caveat. Do you want to sell your future when there's not much future left? I said he's 36. He fights Jake Paul. He's never going to be taken serious again. But he's going to make tens of millions of dollars, whoop Jake Paul probably, make everyone, cheer because it's, someone finally knocked Jake Paul on his ass. And he becomes more of like a pop culture hero because he's the guy that whooped Jake Paul. But you're right. He doesn't really box legit fights after that, but he won't need to because he'll make that money. Maybe Jake Paul will want to run it back and he'll make more money. But I'll give you the analogy. You can't find yourself on the outside of Major League Baseball, go play banana ball for a year and expect to ever make it back to big league baseball. Like, you've accepted the fact that, now I play with the Savannah Bananas. Like,
right.
It's a step. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't take that sidestep thinking you'll ever really get back.
Yeah, it's a sidestep. You're absolutely right. Again, the money is big league and big time, but if he wants to get that Fury dream fight in Wembley, the chances of that happening are slimmer. But here's my honest take.
It's
the more
a sellout
I think
move.
about
You know what it is? Covino, it's a girl that worries about her reputation, but she knows she can make a ton of money on OnlyFans. But she knows once I cross that threshold to OnlyFans,
there's no going back.
I'll make a ton of money.
Yeah.
But once everyone sees your I can't even say it on Fox Sports. Once everyone sees you, guess what? You're not getting legit jobs again.
You're not putting the toothpaste back in the tube once it's out.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. So
right.
You fight Jake Paul, you go on OnlyFans, you start playing banana ball. These are great cool ideas, but you got to remember, once you do it, it's done. Like, it's like getting a big tattoo.
You're going to be surprised to hear this. And again, we're figuring this out and processing as we go because this news just broke a few hours before we got here. Danny G, Sam, I want to know your thoughts. Fox Sports Radio Nation, 877-99 on Fox. Here's what I'm thinking. Anthony Joshua has fought a lot of tough fights. The only fight he never fought that we always wanted was the Tyson Fury fight, right? So that's the one that's there waiting for everybody. But both of those guys are past their prime. Both of those guys have talked about retirement. Both of these guys, I mean, Fury has been retired. I think at this stage of the game, at 36 years old, he seems a little punch drunk. He seems vulnerable in these fights. He lost to Dubois. He lost to Usyk twice. He lost to Andy Ruiz. You know, we've seen the best of Anthony Joshua. It's not like he's going to all of a sudden be better. He looks like a physical specimen. If you have no idea what the guy looks like, he looks like a bona fide, legitimate, ripped heavyweight, like Holyfield back in the day.
His body is like a beefier Michael B. Jordan or something.
like a DK Metcalf, like a ripped tight end. That's, for visual purposes, if you don't know who he is. He's a legitimate heavyweight. At this stage of his career, seeing what he has been up to, watching his last few fights, seeing him fall short and acting weird and punch drunk and crazy after the fights, I think he takes this Jake Paul fight, beats him, takes the money, rides off into the sunset, and that's it. He retires after that. Like you said, you're not going back to legitimate fights after being in the circus.
You bring up some of those heavyweights that are not like, it's not like they're all done, but all the heavyweights that we really enjoyed over the last 10 years, if you like boxing, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, they all sort of fell off a cliff around the same time as far as like there's like something happened where it's like, they're just not. You
know what happened? By the time people mainstream became aware of who they were slowly past or getting past their prime.
But if
they were getting older.
If you are going to pick one of those guys, and you might say it's not beneath Anthony Joshua because he's not as big a name, but how wildly fun would it be to have the personality of Tyson Fury against Jake Paul? Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson. How about Jake Paul, Tyson Fury?
Hey,
now, you could say that's ridiculous. If Jake Paul
could handle Joshua, then we could talk some Fury.
Yeah, because I feel like I know you're saying they're all older and they're all aging, heavyweights, but like you tell me right now, Jake Paul, Tyson Fury's personality alone could match that of Jake Paul. I just think Anthony Joshua is not that exciting of a guy. We just know he's a big, tough guy. So
do they take this overseas? The bloody blokes will go wild for this. Or do they reject it because it's like, get this stupid American idiot out of Wembley, out of our country. We want a legitimate fight. Who knows how they feel about it? But again, if you're just joining us, breaking news, Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul nearing a deal. Turki Al-Sheikh said Jake accepted. He's talking to Joshua about it. Nearing a deal. Heavyweight bout in December. Streaming on Netflix. That would be huge because everyone would tune in. Even if they hate the idea, they'll still tune in. But even if you hate the idea, it's better than the previous idea. Yeah. I think there's no debate there. It's better than him versus Davis. I just think it's just a better matchup. It might even be more favorable for Jake Paul simply because Gervonta Davis is so small and elusive.
Or Covino.
Fight.
What about the failed thought that we talked about last week that never amounted? Nate Diaz Part 2. No one cared. Yeah. Danny G, you're a fight fan. A little more casual than Covino. Obviously, same with me. Are you intrigued by an Anthony Joshua, like a big former heavyweight champ type of guy like that? That's a test for Jake Paul. No.
Yeah, because of the matchup with the size, it is a better fight. Covino's right, and the question I have for Cove. Last September, I remember you being excited for Joshua's fight, and he fought twice last year. How come he slowed down with his schedule? Is it because of the matchups or his age? Because he hasn't fought at all this year.
Dude, he looked so shaky after a few of his losses, man. There was one fight in particular. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
He was looking the wrong way.
That was one. That was
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder turned his head and got knocked out. Anthony Joshua, if you remember, Rich, I told you, he grabbed the microphone after being knocked out, and he went on his whole rant, like embarrassing himself.
I remember that.
He's like, someone take the mic out of this guy's hand. Like, he's been through too many battles, so I think
I haven't seen a speech like that since Steve Buscemi in The Wedding Singer.
Dude, it was very reminiscent like that of that, because you're like, this is really awkward, man. Like, someone take the microphone away from him. But
he's had at least one fight, by the way, each calendar year since 2013.
He's slowed down because of age and because of the battles he was fighting, and teetering on retiring. And does he still have it? And a lot of doubt, not only from himself but from his own corner. But again, we were talking like a physical specimen for the ages, like an Olympic caliber heavyweight contender and champion in Anthony Joshua. It's been a while since he's been that good. Again, he's 36. So your thoughts, we'll go to the phones now at 877-99 on Fox. Let's talk to Kelvin in Indy. Kelvin in Indy, the possible potential Anthony Joshua-Jake Paul fight.
Hey, this is the best radio show there is in history and life.
Thank you,
How
man.
you guys doing? I love you guys.
Yeah, Kelvin,
I
smart guy.
listen to y'all every day coming home from work.
Appreciate you, man.
Matter of fact, I'm on my way home now. I'm going to pick up my grandson. But I'm going to say this. Yes, I had a lot of belief in Joshua, and he kind of let me down a little bit, but I look at it from a different perspective. This is a competitive boxing because you're dealing with Usyk and all these guys. These guys are not no club fighters, as they say. These guys got a lot of potential. So for him to have a record of 28-4, and when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad, even though I know he's getting older now. So I think he should take the fight and re-promote himself and see if something can come out of this. But you're right, though. Once you go down that slough, it's very hard to come out of it. But he can promote himself. Even if he don't get the fight, he's a really handsome-looking guy, not to be funny or anything. He's not too bad-looking of a guy.
Joshua is the man. He really
could gain some popularity. He could gain some popularity from this. And I'll say this. Thank you for the call, man.
And the ultimate test, Rich, I did look it up because I wasn't certain, because you mentioned Wilder before. Wilder was the bronze bomber because he won Olympic bronze. Anthony Joshua was an Olympic gold medalist. Like, we're talking that caliber of a fighter. Unified WBA, IBF, and WO former champion, heavyweight champion of the world.
I was going to say gold medalist, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
gold medalist. So look at it this way. Here's the best outcome for Anthony Joshua, and we can move on because I do want to talk Jameis Winston. I find this guy to be the most entertaining dude there is. Anthony Joshua, here's how it works out for him. He takes the fight.
Mm-hmm.
He beats Jake Paul quickly and convincingly, gives himself some confidence, gives himself a bigger pop culture name, and then maybe he trains for one more big fight against an Usyk, or maybe he walks out on that high note like, listen, I'm done with real boxing, but I wanted to put an exclamation point on my career and knock this punk out.
Yeah, if he's teetering on retirement, which I think he is, I don't know for fact, but based on, again, what I've seen his past few fights, he definitely takes this fight. And that's it. Then you call it a day. And if Jake Paul wins, man, he's proven everybody wrong. You got to take him serious. As Turki Al-Sheikh said, he becomes ranked as a heavyweight, and he beat a legitimate former champion and Olympian. So props. I'm all for it. I think it's a better matchup than Gervonta Davis. We were bummed to not get that fight, and now we're a little excited about this one. But like you said, certain things you can't come back from. Savannah Bananas is a great example. Even though I love them, you can't be a big leaguer, play for the Bananas, and then make it back to the big leagues. Yes. You can't be an Oscar award-winning actor, be in the next Sharknado, and then think you're going to get another box office smash. There's certain things you can't move back from.
You can't be in corporate America. You can't be a school teacher, then go on OnlyFans and become a school teacher again.
Exactly. I don't think there's no coming back from that until we start to accept Jake Paul as a bona fide heavyweight champion or contender. All right, so we will talk. You said Jameis Winston. We also got to talk Jordan Love and overrated and labels in sports.
There's so much to it because there's a Gronk hypothetical you and I completely disagree on. So, and no one loves talking about. Who doesn't love talking about Gronk? The guy's everyone's favorite bro. So a Gronk hypothetical and Covino. Because I heard in the update with Dan Byer. Jameis Winston getting the start. I have a question for you about Jameis Winston, and I think you'll like it. We'll get to all that next. A lot of fun on a Wednesday. CNR on FSR.
All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season.
New customers bet just $5. You get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, you're going to score $300 if your bet wins. It's paid in bonus bets.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code CRSHOW. That's code CRSHOW. Covino Rich Show. CR Show. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass. Plus, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins.
In partnership with DraftKings, again, code CRSHOW. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available. For problem gambling, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21-plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
There's a lot of chatter of last night, the NBA heavily leaning into nostalgia.
Our generation is a generation that feeds and lives off of nostalgia.
Lives off it. So it brings me to my big thought of the day, which is you're breaking out round ball rock. Everyone loves it, right? Basketball, yeah.
I'm gonna dunk it.
You got round ball rock. You got MJ.
Mike Tirico's voice, which was cool.
You got Tirico. Listen, they're hitting on everything. But then again, so I feel that, and then I say, well, I remember what Tony Soprano said on The Sopranos, which is,
remember when is the lowest form of conversation.
Remember when is the lowest form of conversation.
Well, you know what I always took from that? I respect Tony Soprano. Gotta respect the Sopranos.
Gabagool.
I think it's always fun to look back. You just can't live there too long.
That is the answer. There's nothing wrong with looking back. In fact, we always say that two things can be true. The NBA could be leaning too much on nostalgia. Nostalgia could be amazing, and it could also be a crutch.
And I feel
all
like
these things could be true.
On The Sopranos, what Tony was saying there is like this whole night we've been reminiscing, and that's fun and all, but like let's bring it up to current date a little bit. Like even if you're hanging out with your buddies, there's always a remember when conversation, and that's fun. When you realize that's all you got, that's when it's stale, and that's when you realize, like, yeah, we got nothing more than that.
Yeah, they were interviewing the current stars of the NBA, and they asked them, what's your favorite NBA on NBC moment in the 90s? And most of them were like, I don't have one. I was too little, or I wasn't born yet. Anthony Edwards said, I don't know, Michael Jordan. So, yeah, for the younger generation, none of that's going to hit with them. It's going to hit with us, but not them.
For the younger generation, it's all new to them. What do they know about John Tesh? Probably nothing, but it's new to them, right? So nostalgic
that
to us.
That part of it is. But if we lean too much in the past, that's not going to play well for the younger audience.
But like I said, when I feel Tony Soprano was saying there should be a mix of it, like let's talk about something current or let's bring it up to speed now or else we got nothing. I think the NBA does that just by having young players in the league. And that's the perfect balance. Like, I'm not against it. I think it's cool because you're bringing some of the old school cats back into what they enjoyed and what made that 90s era so great. And then for anyone too young to remember, it's new to them anyway, so who cares?
What did Mr. Miyagi teach Daniel LaRusso?
To wax on, wax off?
Balance.
Oh.
Danielson. It's all about balance because if you
I
can
always
balance,
thought the wax off part was a little weird.
Hey, go wax off. What? If you balance nostalgia just the right way, the example that Covino is alluding to, if you get drinks with an old college buddy, let's say you break your conversations down into a pie chart of 100%. If 50% of your conversations like, yo, remember when John in college got drunk and did this? Ah, ha, ha. But you got to mix that in with, yo, tell me about your kids. I see your kids playing football. And, yo, your daughter, how's your wife doing? Hey, tell me about your job. Like, you can't live 100% in, hey,
Because
remember when we were at that frat party, you know?
If you can't vibe on what's going on now, that means like all your friendship and all your love is based on things that happened in the past. And you do notice that a lot with some old school friends and old school relationships. It's like, yeah, we got nothing here now, nothing in common now, no conversations to have now. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to talk about, I don't know, a new band that's out, and they still want to talk about Pearl Jam. And it's like, can we talk about something now? And you realize that your friendship and your relationship only lives then. It has to be a great balance. And I think that's what the NBA is going for. I don't think the NBA is going for old school nostalgia. That's impossible. You got young players on the court.
It's a league that is really banking on some young stars to step it up. So why not throw in a little dipping of nostalgia?
I want to shout out the entire Fox Sports Radio Nation and anybody that might be tuning in on the 3i Atlas spaceship. Just in case. I want them to know I'm friendly, I'm a friend, and I'm one of the good guys. Covino. Rich, he hates you guys. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
Wow. Hey, bud. Yeah. I want to wish Russell Westbrook a happy birthday. 37 years old today. And before we get into your feedback on Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, before we talk a little Jameis Winston, and I know we have a Gronk hypothetical. 18 years. This is his 18th season in the NBA. He played 11 in OKC. Do you think you guys can name the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that Russell Westbrook has played for?
Well, we saw him play for the Rockets, so that's
Rockets.
one. OKC, you already said. The Lakers.
Yes.
Clippers.
Clippers.
Nuggets.
Wizards.
And where is he now?
Sacramento.
Yeah.
Sacramento.
Is that it? We got them all?
Hey, on the road again.
You know, we're like the Voltron of sports radio. Together and collectively, we can do anything.
Last one standing.
So collectively, we're one brain, Covino and Rich. And before we get into all the greatness, Rich, on this hump day and midweek major, the biggest stories in sports and pop culture, we turn it over to the great Dan Beyer for an update.
What's up, DB?
Guys, bunch of happenings in New York City. Jameis Winston's going to be the starting quarterback for their Giants in their Week 11 matchup with the Packers on Sunday because Jackson Dart has that concussion that he suffered last Sunday against the Chicago Bears. That means Russell Wilson is now third on the depth chart for the Giants. This is what Wilson had to say in the locker room after practice today.
I love it here. I love my teammates. I want to see us turning around. I know God's got a great plan for me. I don't know what it is today, this second as I stand here. I just want to wake up and have a great practice today. That's why, I want to have a great practice today, zoned in on that. I want to see it through. I haven't asked for a release or anything like that. I want to be here, But I think for me, I just want to get better every day. I still want to keep playing football. I love it, obviously, and I feel like I still got it.
I guess I lied. It was before practice. I thought it was after practice, but that was Russell Wilson earlier today. Yes.
When he says God's plan, not to get religious or anything, but, God's given him, a beautiful family, a superstar wife, a Super Bowl championship, millions of dollars. So whatever God's plan or anyone's plan is, Russ has had a pretty good run. So, this is we're not seeing the best part of his life right now, but he's doing just fine.
I'm sure God's pretty concerned with Week 11 Packers at Giants as well.
Big on his agenda.
Oh, man. Anyway,
God has money on it.
In other quarterbacking news, 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice, trying to get ready for that showdown with the Cardinals. Also limited wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. On the Cardinals side of things, no Marvin Harrison Jr. He's out after having surgery for an appendicitis. He could miss multiple games because of the issue. Lamar Jackson didn't practice for the Ravens today, but head coach John Harbaugh says the quarterback should go tomorrow, just resting a sore knee, and he's expected to start against the Browns coming up on Sunday. Buccaneers running back Bucky Irving and wide receiver Chris Godwin were limited in practice today. No practice for Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud. In the NBA, Clippers guard Bradley Beal's going to miss the rest of the season. ESPN reports he needs surgery to repair a fractured hip. Lakers forward LeBron James took part in 5-on-5 practice with the South Bay Lakers of the G League, trying to come back from his sciatica. And Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo won't play tonight against the Hornets because of a knee issue. Guys, back to you.
Cove, I don't expect everyone to have the charisma of Jameis Winston. And by the way, Dan Beyer, you're the man. Thank you. I do want Dan Beyer to play that clip that he played earlier of Jameis Winston talking about playing in New York, and he started singing Hamilton songs. Take a listen.
I want fans to know that I'm going to do my best. Obviously, I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to execute, have a surgical execution, and just play ball, man. Like, this is something I've been doing since I've been 4 years old, and I just get to do it in the greatest city in the world. I'm going to be saying it with my son. It's the greatest city in the world. Yeah, that's a Hamilton reference if y'all don't know. 10-year reunion.
I know you can't teach personality, Covino, but how Jameis Winston's personality, to me, carries him so much further, because he seems like who could not like Jameis Winston? And I feel like some of the young dudes around the NFL, take note. Carry yourself like Jameis Winston. I feel like people will, your performance still matters, but I feel like you have a little extra leeway when you got the personality of Jameis Winston. I feel like I smile every time I hear that guy talk.
It helps in sports, but it doesn't matter in sports. It really doesn't. Paul Skeens, Dan Beyer's not in the business of rumors. I am. I like spreading rumors. We live in the era of fake news and fake headlines. I don't know if it's true or not, but Paul Skeens is as dominant as they come in sports, and he's got the weakest personality probably ever of all time. And the story with him today is, trust me, he wants to play for the Yankees. An anonymous teammate is spilling the beans and the tea, saying he's heard him say it multiple times.
Well, Livy Dunn, remember she wouldn't get approval for that New York City apartment? She got a different New York City apartment. So when when the love of his life, the beautiful Livy Dunn, is living in New York, It almost makes sense that Paul Skeens wants to end up there at some point, but I know it doesn't mean everything, Covino.
But again, different personalities potentially in New York. Winston is great, dude. There's no question I prefer that. I think it takes you so far in life. But in sports, if you put up those stats, it doesn't matter if you're the worst guy in the world.
I get it, but I always say
there's criminals that you root for because they put up big numbers.
That is true, but I've mentioned how you always say Mets fans don't appreciate Pete Alonso like they should, and now we're probably gonna lose him. Pete Alonso is the type of guy that's like, thanks fans for coming out, LFGM, and there's certain players that know how to treat a fan base, and I don't know, take a page. Russell Wilson is a goober. Jackson Dart's on the right track, but I feel like you look at Jameis Winston, and Jameis Winston, if not, he probably has multiple media contracts just waiting for when he retires.
Rich? We always talk about the 5-tool player, right? Why don't we just add the sixth element to this and be like, and he's got charisma. He's got the riz.
Media savvy.
He's media savvy and personality plus. Because you're right. It's something that we don't give a lot of credit to. But if you're a leader in the clubhouse, in the locker room, a potential face of a franchise, it definitely helps.
Well, think of how many times. What do we say about Kike Hernandez? I freaking love that guy. Why? Because not only is he a clutch player, but Kike Hernandez is funny as hell. Why is everyone a dud? Is everyone just a freaking dud? Is it they concentrate so much? They concentrate so much on athletics.
I'll tell you this: watching the Alex versus A-Rod documentary on HBO Max, his ex-wife. This was a viral quote from the documentary, she said when she first met Alex Rodriguez, she felt sorry for him. Do you know why? Because she said he was stunted emotionally. His emotional and maturity as a person, his emotional, what would you say? Intelligence was so low that she felt bad because he wasn't fully developed as a person, because his entire life, you nailed it, his entire life revolved around baseball, and that's all he knew. So maybe there's something to that, too, to reach these heights and reach this level of greatness in that sport. You know, to be one of the chosen ones, to live out everybody's dream, you have to dedicate so much and sacrifice so much that you lose when it comes to just socializing and developing a personality and emotional maturity, etc.
But you know what? It just takes so little. Like, Danny G, you're the biggest Raiders fan I know. What if Ashton Genty just said, like, yo, Raiders Nation, I bleed silver and I bleed silver and black, and we're gonna get this right, and I plan on being here a while. Yo, silver and black, you got me. Like, all it takes is like little nuggets like that. It becomes a soundbite. You become a fan favorite. But no, like a pitcher or a player is interviewed after a baseball game, and they just have like a monotone voice, and it's like, dude, hype up the freaking crowd.
You know what it is, Rich? I'll give you a terrible analogy, but there's some truth to it. You know, beautiful women, like model women, are they known for their personality? No, they never had to develop one for the most part. I'm not saying I'm painting in broad strokes. I'm not saying there's not beautiful model women with great personality. Of course there is.
What you're saying is if you have a 98-mile-an-hour slider, you don't need to worry about being funny?
You're the man no matter what. You never had to really develop much of a personality, right? Because you were treated like a god in high school and you're Johnny Football hero no matter what. So think about why certain women who everyone kissed their ass along the way, they really didn't have to develop much personality. Everyone loved them because they were hot. These are the equivalent of the hot chicks. These are the coolest dudes going who dominated their game. They didn't really need to focus on that. All they needed to focus on was scoring touchdowns.
I guess you're right.
I'm saying there's probably something to that. And then again, it's case by case.
Well, beat Jameis Winston is what I'm saying.
Beat
All right, we got a pretty funny hypothetical. It has to do with a great personality in sports. A guy cut from that Jameis Winston cloth, Rob Gronkowski. We have a Gronk hypothetical. Got to talk some Lakers because they have a big test tonight playing OKC. So we'll talk some NBA, we'll talk some NFL, and we got midweek major, Mike's words of wisdom, so much and so little time. Right here, Covino and Rich.
Roger that.
Nate Diaz, Jake Paul.
Please tell me who cares.
I care. I'll watch any fight. I watch animals fight on Animal Planet. I watch bugs fight. I watched my dog fight a praying mantis. That's a true story. My dog came into the house with a praying mantis, and I saw the praying mantis doing drunken master ninja moves. They were fighting. I enjoyed it. I love any fight. Now, I love legitimate fights more. Like, I want to see a real fight. Like, Virgil Ortiz is fighting this weekend. And you're like, who? I don't care. Because you're the bozo that loves the circus and loves the spectacle. The casual fans love it. And if it brings casual fans to fighting and boxing, I'm all for it. Nate Diaz, 40 years old. Jake Paul, 28 years old. Now, the backstory's this. Jake Paul is supposed to fight Gervonta Davis, like Rich said. Gervonta Davis got in some trouble. He assaulted a stripper. That's the other story. There's many stories surrounding this guy. Got him in some trouble. Now he's off that fight, and as you know, Jake Paul spoke publicly about his disdain for this guy and how he promotes women and he supports women. He'd never want to give more money to this guy, so that fight's off. Who's going to replace him? Francis Ngannou was a name. Ryan Garcia was a name. Rolly Romero threw his gloves in the ring. Edgar Berlanga was saying he wanted that payday.
But of all the people you just named, I would have been probably pumped for any of those. Wow, Ngannou, so big, would have whooped Jake Paul's ass. And then you said, oh, Ryan Garcia, that's a smaller guy, but that would have been fun. Everything you mentioned is better than Nate Diaz, who no one cares about.
What do you mean
anymore?
You mean UFC legend, badass, younger brother of Nick Diaz legend, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz? It's a rematch, by the way. Hello. Yeah. Did anyone not see the battle?
Jake Paul already beat him.
Can I just say, I'm not here to say I'm so pumped about this, but I'm saying it's better than nothing because you and I were going away next week, boys trip, right? We're going to Arizona, watch the Cardinals play. We planned on watching a fight.
Covino's a big Jacoby Brissett fan.
There's thousands of people who are excited to go to see this fight. Maybe friends getting together. At least we're going to get something. Again, allegedly, supposedly, not officially, but likely. Nate Diaz, Jake Paul, too. It's a rematch and a worthy rematch, and here's why. Nate Diaz really fought hard in this fight.
Dude.
It was a closer fight than anyone had expected. It was a bit of a battle, and dude, it's better than nothing. So I'll take it.
Can I tell you something? First of all, your memory must be trash because there was nothing awesome about that fight. I remember Nate Diaz looked sluggish and
Nate Diaz lacked power,
chubby,
but he kept fighting and it made it exciting.
They should use your tagline because that's how I feel about it. Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul, quote, better than nothing. Wow, you're really selling it. Hey guys, Dan Beyer, you want nothing for lunch or a sandwich for lunch? Hey, sandwich. Better than nothing, right?
BTN.
Better than nothing.
Hey,
man,
wasn't that our tagline?
Today's National Donut Day. I think someone brought us donuts, right? There was one like plain donut left. Hey, better than nothing.
And you know what? You could say that sounds lame, but it's also true, and it's also correct.
Well, then use that
A
tagline.
little piece of that donut was BTN, as Dan Beyer put it, better than nothing.
Well,
and I'll take this because I think nobody deserves it more than a Nate Diaz. The guy devoted his life to fighting and mixed martial arts. He's a tough dude. He's a badass. These other guys really just wanted the payday. Nate Diaz really just wants to get in there and brawl. He wants to fight.
Nate Diaz, to me, he's like the Kevin Federline of MMA. Like someone from that was relevant at one point 10, 20 years ago. And no one really cares anymore. Nate Diaz.
Hey, where's my MMA fans at? Did you hear what this guy just said? The Kevin Federline of MMA, of fighting? The Kevin Federline, a guy who accomplished nothing. That's what he's saying about Nate Diaz.
Who's the backup dancer? J-Lo married. He's the Casper of
You're talking about a mixed martial art legend and fan favorite, no less. He's a fan favorite for sure, Nate Diaz. So you're really downplaying his fighting significance. Is he a boxer? No, but neither is Jake Paul, really. Well, he is now, but
I now am interested in the fight just to see if Nate Diaz comes out to Popo Zao at the fight. Kevin Federline's great hit.
I know.
He compared. You know what
he's
he
the
just
same level of significance to me. No, when I saw a headline yesterday, it said Carly Rae Jepsen's pregnant, and congratulations. But I'm like, the call her maybe girl. How is she still getting a headline? How is Nate Diaz still getting a headline?
Nate Diaz is way more legendary than you're painting the picture out to be right now. Ooh. Man.
Ooh.
Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. The more I think about Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, Joshua's going to whoop Jake Paul if that happens. I'll explain later on because right now.
Listen, you were going to say murder, but you didn't want to put it out there.
Yo, dude, he's 6'6", 235. Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury. Let's be realistic here. Jake Paul couldn't beat Tommy Fury. He's going to beat a former gold medal heavyweight, former champion. In your dreams, Pedro. In your dreams. So, I don't know. The more I think about it, he doesn't have a shot. But if he does, my goodness, what a statement. We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. It's Covino and Rich, and it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day. Justin Edwards had a team-high 22 for the Sixers against the Celtics, but it was Kelly Oubre who iced the game.
3-point shot in the air. It's long, no good. Rebound, Oubre. Put back good. Sixers lead with 8.7 to go. Timeout, Boston. 6 seconds to go. Brown spins. He goes to Derek White, who Drummond knocks the ball, and White dropped it 3 seconds ago. He shoots it at the Hornets in the air. No good. The Boston Celtics miss, and the Sixers did get a deflection. Andre Drummond knocked it toward midcourt. Beat the Celtics by a deuce, 102-100.
Revved up like a deuce. That was courtesy of Sixers Radio Network, and that was our Tire Rack play of the day.
Ooh, Drummond, your favorite Drummond since Peter Drummond, right?
Mr. Drummond is my favorite Drummond.
I know. For 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free. Backed by free road hazard protection, mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Cove.
Yes.
Before the show, you and I were chopping it up about Gronk, and just what a fun guy Gronk is. He's cut from that Jameis Winston cloth, those athletes that somehow developed a personality along the way as well.
He's just a bonehead, yeah, and a lovable bonehead, but lots of personality for sure.
You know, you say bonehead because he's very bro-y, but isn't the rumor that Gronk never spent $1 of his NFL money?
I say that with love. People say the same thing about me, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm bro-y, okay, that's fine, whatever. I don't necessarily consider that an insult. I call you a bonehead. I call him my friend. He seems like a friend, right? Like a guy you hang out with. We've hung out with Gronk. He's been on the show. He is a bro. He's very charismatic, very funny guy.
True story. We used to do a Cinco de Mayo guacamole contest. We should bring it back, but back in the day before COVID when people used to like share food, COVID sort of killed the guac off. We used to do a guacamole contest. And one year Rob Gronkowski showed up and he's like, I got my own guac. It's called Gronkamole, bro. And he presented Gronkamole.
Yeah, him and his beautiful girlfriend.
Camille Kostick.
They were both on the show. We had a great time. So I say that with love. Another very personality-driven NFL superstar.
So here's my Gronk question. He signs the one-day contract with the Patriots to be a New England Patriot forever. He talked about it. He did it. And he was with Robert Kraft. Take a listen. Is there no audio? Because I could say, hey, I'm a Patriot. Is there audio of...
Hey, Rob, how about you play 2 days so we could keep you against the Jets?
There you go. Okay, perfect.
So we could tell you what happened. He had a one-day deal with the Patriots, and then Kraft said, can you do a 2-day deal so you could play against the Jets for us? And Rich, in our pre-show meeting, said, hey, Covino, do you think he could just go out there and sort of rip it up? And I'm like, right now, without any preparation? No, not a chance. Not a chance without injury. Like, give me a break. The guy hasn't done anything at game speed in a few years. Rich swears, and I quote, he'd go 6 for 60 yards.
I think Gronk is still conditioned enough and knows the game well enough.
Game condition is different, though.
He knows that
you could hit the gym every day, but you haven't done a full-on sprint.
Bro.
Hey, Rich, you go to the gym all the time.
Yeah.
When's the last time you did a full-on sprint? And Sunday softball doesn't count. We're talking NFL here.
I full-on sprint?
Yeah. Because
I run as fast as I can.
Muscles during a game are going to be way different than you doing a 2.9 mile per hour jog on the treadmill.
All right, well, hold on now. No one does 2.9 unless you're weak-ass like you. But my second point is...
Yeah, but I'm at a 6.5 incline, bro.
Gronky, I'm not telling you to play a full season. I'm saying Gronk, he could go out there cold. He may feel like ass the next day, but I think Gronk could suit up, play against the Jets, catch 6 for 60 against the Jets, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, like he could really turn it on. I think.
I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying it would take like a good month, 2 months to prepare and get to that point where he could compete in the NFL. You're really downplaying the level of fitness and greatness that guys on the field currently are putting in.
Danny J, just based on his football IQ and playing all those years, Super Bowl champion, catching passes from Tommy, catching tutties.
Rich was saying cold right now.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. No, he's been away for too long.
And he was hobbling towards the end of his career. He had bad knees.
He was a little bit of a decoy at the very end.
All of a sudden, you think he's just lighting it up? No way.
Well, hey, Grunky, I believe in you. I think you could do it. I think we've seen guys.
It's a fun question. It is. It's a fun question, but I don't think so.
Yeah, 2 catches for 23 yards, maybe.
Yeah.
See, that's even better than some tight ends in fantasy, so I'll take it. All right, well, we got your thoughts. Could Gronk step in this weekend and do it? Plus, we got midweek major and Mike's words of wisdom all coming up.
Roger that.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct. 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event
You
during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
New York Giants rookie Jackson Dart will not start in Week 11 against the Green Bay Packers. In fact, he's not going to play because of a concussion. So Jameis Winston has now been named the starter in New York as he jumps Russell Wilson on the team's depth chart. Winston getting his first start of the year, while Wilson will be demoted to third-string quarterback. He told reporters today he has not asked the team for his release as he wants to remain in New York. No practice today for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. He is expected to practice tomorrow, just dealing with a sore knee, and should start Sunday against the Browns. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy and wide receiver Ricky Pearsall were limited in practice today. They've got the Cardinals coming up on Sunday. Arizona won't have wide receiver Marvin Harrison. He's not going to play following surgery for an appendicitis. No practice for Broncos running back J.K. Dobbins. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson ruled out tomorrow against the Patriots. Clippers guard Bradley Beal done for the season because of a fractured hip. I'm Dan Beyer.
All right.
Yeah, buddy.
Hump day, action-packed hour. We got wisdom to spread. We got midweek major. We got to talk Rob Gronkowski and more. Covino and Rich broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Dickie Tejas is in Texas at the Weenie Fest in New Braunfels.
It's called Worst Fest, not the you're the Weenie Fest. It's Worst Fest.
Oh,
Beer and
I
sausage.
thought they were honoring you, and that's why you went.
I'm the Grand Marshal of the Weenie Parade.
Be sure to check out our new YouTube channel. You can watch us live, Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Covino and Rich FSR. Hit subscribe and thumbs up. And check out our podcast while you're at it. Search Covino and Rich. We be rocking out. So we got to wrap up this Gronk conversation. But the big news today is Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, still in the works. We talked about it first hour. I want to say again, the more I think about it, Jake Paul has no shot. However, everybody has a fighter's chance. It's just, is it beneath Anthony Joshua? We got to see what the money's all about and what happens. And in the world of fighting, Rich, I just got to say shame on everybody for downplaying the significance of Christy Martin, because no one's going to see that movie. And Sydney Sweeney put all her heart and soul into this project, and nobody cares, and it's a big story. And there's a lot of boneheads out there, like Rich, who are downplaying her significance.
Bro,
and I was like,
I never heard of her.
Dude, well, that's on you. She was a dominant female boxer in the Mike Tyson era, fighting on those pay-per-views and breaking through in female boxing. She was a pioneer, man. She was the best there was out there.
Bro,
so I understand. It's just her fame didn't transcend.
You know,
but
who
it's
was
like
more
someone
popular?
Who?
The fabulous Moolah.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face. That's like saying Pac-Man wasn't popular because you don't see him today. You know what I mean? Like, she was popular back then. Her fame just didn't transcend into today's world. It's like saying Ronda Rousey wasn't big 30 years from now. It's like, yeah, she was.
Yo, don't you say something so asinine as Ronda Rousey and Christy Martin in the same conversation.
I never said Christy Martin's ass is a 9, but Sydney Sweeney, not too shabby.
No, I said asinine.
Oh, asinine? What is that?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm joking. Guys,
but no, you know what?
just because you're ignorant of her career or don't know who she was doesn't make the fact that she was a prominent figure in the world of boxing not true.
What,
she was.
Guess what, Pally? Her story hasn't really been told, so maybe Sydney Sweeney is the person to do it. But go around the studio. If I'm the only ass clown, then call me the clown. But Sam, Danny G, Dan Beyer, were you that familiar with the career and life of Christy Martin before you found out Sydney Sweeney was doing a movie?
That's like saying you don't remember Butterbean. Butterbean was a big deal.
Yeah, I actually do. And I'm not saying this because of the Covino guy, but she was the only female boxer.
She was the only one that anyone cared about. And women were like, damn, man, this girl kicks ass.
I remember the female American Gladiators more.
Well, I remember I was a big fan of Blaze myself.
I remember
but-
the Glow. I remember the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. I watched Glow Wrestling.
But
I don't know why.
you're also the biggest bonehead. Here you are making fun of Gronkowski. You think that just anything that you know is fact and that's it. Anything that happened before you or your knowledge didn't count or never happened. That doesn't make it true.
That's fair. That's a good point.
But that doesn't make it true. So anyway, that's also a big story that Rich and I were fighting about on our Patreon early today. But since boxing's in the news with Anthony Joshua, I wanted to bring that up. Iowa Sam, what's up?
I have 3 takes I must make. I'm just champing at the bit here. I only knew about Butterbean through Jackass. Got to be honest. I mean,
Okay.
he was guesting on
But
Jackass.
you're also a little younger,
I am.
Sam.
Yeah,
you're in
yeah.
your 30s, dude.
Yeah.
Barely,
almost done with that.
Yeah.
And then also, you said the asinine joke. I think that's an old Jeff Foxworthy blue collar comedy tour.
Are you
joke.
calling me a Carlos Mencia? Because
I just remember him saying, "Her face is a 4 and her ass a 9."
Oh, really? I don't know that joke.
Asinine, define
I
it.
don't follow blue collar comedy.
This is an old joke
Thank
from
you,
that
thank
tour. But I want to say that I read an article about this movie that the company that was in charge of distributing and kind of promoting it just did not do a good job of letting people know.
Hello, and she was part
about
of
this.
a giant controversy with the stupid Gene ad.
Right, so that overshadowed it. Also, the company that was supposed to advertise it and promote it did not do a great job. And
let me ask you this. I said this to Rich. I said, what, Jake LaMotta? Everyone was so well versed in Jake LaMotta. No, but Raging Bull was still a great movie, and Robert De Niro was in it. A good movie is going to be a good movie. Maybe it's not that good of a movie. I don't know.
Well,
but her
I
story
told
and her
you.
legitimacy in boxing should not be undermined.
and also one more thing. You guys, I only knew about her because you guys had been tipped off that she was going to be in this movie. It was in the works. And so we started talking about her. I didn't know who she was. But I also didn't know who the guy in Cinderella Man was, and that's a great movie.
James.
Well, I said Covino.
Broderick. What's James? What the hell's his name? He built the Goethals Bridge. Why am I trying to? blank?
Matthew Broderick.
No, James. What the hell's his name?
James Braddock.
James Braddock.
Yeah, and so you don't have to know about these
James
people
J. Braddock.
from the history books, but if a movie tells you about it, that's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, Rich's stance is nobody knows her. What do you know about Jake LaMotta? What did you know about James J. Braddock? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's not it. It's bad publicity, and it's the fact that she got bad press, and no one promoted this enough.
Hey, bang your head against the wall, and maybe you'll clear up some of those cobwebs or something that's going on. Because I said to you earlier today, I'll say it again. If this movie was on Netflix, HBO Max, if it was on Prime, it's a great, documentary about a female boxer I might not know that much about. Oh, Sydney Sweeney and those, her speed bags. I'm watching.
You said, and I quote,
you think
because
people are gonna
nobody
go to the
knows
theater?
Christy Martin. Because what you said, because you don't know Christy Martin, and you think you're the be-all, end-all, because you didn't know her, that's why nobody cares. And I'm telling you, I watched a movie about Frankenstein last night. You think I care about Frankenstein? Since when is that the reason you watch something?
What do you watch about Frankenstein? There's so many good shows on.
Because there's a new movie on Netflix. It's actually pretty good.
I'm about to fly home tonight.
Anyway.
Frankenstein.
Is it Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah, I think
right.
so. It's
He did
really
it?
good, yeah. But I'll tell you what, I don't want to harp too much on it because we still got to talk Gronkowski, and our guy Mike is here. He's a busy guy. He don't have time to waste, and he wants to drop some wisdom on us.
Hold on. Mike's a guy that knows a lot.
Who?
Big Mike who runs this place. There he is.
Hello, everybody. Never heard of him.
Everybody watching thinks we have Rick from Pawn Stars on. It's actually,
Can I tell you, Mike, our buddy Shay at Fox Sports Radio, he was hanging on our Patreon the other day, and we brought up Peter Gammons looking like Philip Drummond from, of course, Different Strokes. And he didn't know the story. We're like, see the little guy, Gary Coleman? He goes, I've heard of him. I go, he's famously known for C-blocking Big Mike.
now Shay knows.
True
yeah.
story. Absolutely.
True story. Mike, do you know much about Christy Martin before this doc?
Yeah, actually, I was way into Christy Martin back in the day. She was a trailblazer and absolutely in the news. I knew all about her, 100%.
She was on the cover of magazines. She was everywhere. She was the it girl, except, that story sort of fizzled when the 80s went away.
All right, well, you and Covino could go together, cut a hole in the popcorn box for all I care.
All right. Well, hey, just because you don't know doesn't make it true.
We're not a Saturday Night Live skit, okay?
Okay. All right.
And if you don't know, how about you go and watch and learn something?
Rich in a box over here.
So,
if you know what I mean.
Anyway, Your thoughts at 877-99 on Fox. Now is your chance. We do this every Wednesday. Your chance to take home some CNR goodies, some prizes. Our Nerf CNR on FSR Turbo Football. Ooh. And if you could repeat Mike's Wednesday words of wisdom verbatim, you win.
Yo, these turbo footballs, I feel like they're the type where, like back in the day when you're a kid, you're like, yo, I can throw this 70 yards. It's a nice one.
Yeah, this one has a nice grip and nice weight to it. So,
yeah. All right, Mike, it's all you.
It's time for the guy that runs this place.
Just for clarification, guys, Big Mike does not run this place. He is not in charge of everything. He has no power over really anybody here. He does not run this place.
It's Big Mike's Words of Wisdom on a Wednesday.
Sports do not build character. They reveal it.
Man, that's an easy, breezy one.
Yeah.
No repeats. No repeats
Nope.
on that one. If you can't repeat that verbatim, you're a bonehead.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite of all time.
That's a good one, though, Mike.
Absolutely. One of my favorite of all time. Being a sports fan, always played sports my whole life growing up. It's so true it hurts.
Hey, Mike, how do you feel about Dan Byer adamantly denying you run this place?
I don't think we need to get into the issues between me and Dan Byer right now.
Okay.
I mean, we've been working together for decades, literally decades.
I want you to know that, Mike, the minute we brought that up, that, Mike who runs this place, Dan was the quickest to shoot that down.
Does not surprise me.
Absolutely.
Does not surprise me at all.
I know there's a long history there, so that's why. But he did not hesitate.
You guys walk in all new and stuff, and like, hey, you must be the guy that runs things. And I blame both of you, actually, for perpetuating this lie.
It's become a thing, Dan.
I refuse to dignify any of that with a response.
I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with the story.
Perfect.
All right, so the number is 877-99 on Fox. If you think you could repeat that verbatim, if you want a chance to win a Nerf football, it's a great stocking stuffer. Your chance to win right now, 877-99 on Fox. It's Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom.
Yeah. Cove, you're going to be watching tonight. A big test for the Lakers. Let's talk a little NBA. Lakers, OKC. I know it's early. LeBron's not even back yet. But is this a great early season litmus test for Danny G's Lakers? I think the answer is obvious. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. See where they stand. See how good they play against the former champs. I mean, absolutely. Like we talked about before with Jake Paul. If he could beat, even contend with an Anthony Joshua, it puts you in a different level. So you could play hard and lose, but still, I think moral victories at this stage of the season do mean something. I think if you can compete and you could build some confidence off this game tonight, you don't even have the whole team together. You could play good against the Thunder. Yeah, it says a lot.
It's interesting because remember when the Nuggets won a couple years ago, and we were all very much on board with, man, the Nuggets look like they could win a few in a row. They seemed pretty unstoppable. Yeah, they're 8-2 now. I mean, anytime Jokic is on the team, you're going to compete at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Much like any sport, not easy to repeat, which is why the Dodgers got so much credit this year, running it back and finding a way to win in 7 games, right? Are you looking at an OKC team that's 11-1, sort of picking up where they left off? They're so young, too. That's the thing. They're young and fresh.
I was say,
11.
It's youth and chemistry, man. They got it all.
I mean, you got to say the biggest obstacles could be if Wemby, Fox, and the Spurs really click, or if Denver finds their way back there, or Danny G, I would imagine your Lakers are the other team, you would argue, in the West that could give them problems. So what are you expecting tonight?
Well, finally, I shouldn't say finally because he just missed 3 games, but Austin Reeves back from the groin injury. So we get the dynamic duo, the new dynamic duo. They're the only 2 dudes together scoring 30-plus points this season so far.
And they look like they're having fun doing it.
A lot of
vibe.
Yeah, a lot of fun. You saw them inspecting the court to see who threw the longest bucket in. One of them was like almost a full court shot. And yeah, they're having fun doing this. And then the question remains, and we talked about this a little bit last week, how is the chemistry going to work when LeBron comes back onto the court?
I emphasize morale and clubhouse guys and locker room guys probably too much because I feel like just when I
you're a
sports,
vibe guy. The reason we have fun at Fox, and I think the reason we do well, and we took this to afternoons, there wasn't room for Covino and Rich. We made room here on Fox Sports Radio because we were having so much fun. And I think that only happened because of the vibe and the people we work with. And that brings out the best in you. You're a vibe. Yeah. If there's someone here, let's say Iowa Sam is sick and someone else that we don't know that well is in, right? The vibe's a little different. And Rich is a vibe guy, and that's how it works sometimes, not only in broadcasting, but at the office and on the court.
When I play even rec sports,
I'm
a vibe guy. So when I see the Lakers and Reeves and Luka looking like they're really enjoying each other's company, and when a team looks like they're having fun, I know that sounds like, oh, Rich, that's just one layer of it. But I feel like that's a very important layer.
It brings out your best.
Teams,
it does.
You hear so many teams that go further, talk about that intangible, like, yo, we actually like each other. We eat together on the road. Our wives hang out. Like, we just enjoy each other. And I've always been a big fan of, like, there's a reason why we push to have Iowa Sam come with us when we do mornings filling in for Dan. And Danny G, we wanted to make sure he was part of it. We wanted to make sure Spot came with us wherever we went because we've worked with him for years. I think creating that atmosphere is the only way to beat, I'm being serious, the only way to beat Oklahoma City with that young team that just seems so talented. It's going to have to be a team that's just clicking and has that extra
that's really what
something.
It is. It's clicking and it's trust in each other, right?
Because I don't think you're going to out-talent and out-hustle the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're too young and good, and if anything, they got better from last year. They're 11-1. This team could, for all we know, they can make a little run at a top 3 record of all time in NBA regular season history. They don't look like they want to ever lose, so to beat them, talent is going to have to be just a layer of it. It's going to have to be camaraderie and teammates. So
I'll be rooting for that tonight. I'm stoked to see the Lakers compete. And look, it's Wednesday night. I'm sitting home watching Frankenstein. So if you got nothing else to watch, if you're not watching this, then where the hell you at?
Yeah, and Rich, the other guy who has great chemistry with this current crew is DeAndre Ayton. And there were a lot of question marks about him joining the team because he's had some ups, a lot of downs in the NBA so far. Lack of effort is that finger's usually pointed at him, but he seems to be loving playing with Luka. Luka is special when he gets around bigs with the alley-oops, the nice passes. I mean, don't forget that not only is Luka an elite scorer, but his rebounds and assists are off the hook right now.
Bro, it's so understated. And I get it. Talent is the most important thing. Don't get me wrong. But, Covino, think about at the workplace, when you're playing rec sports, anything you do, a family gathering. You've talked about, like, you go meet some new girl's family, and if there's, like, no music playing, you're hearing the knives and forks on the plate. You're like, oh, my God, I don't want to hang with these people.
Dude,
it's just.
Speaking of music, you could have a room of the greatest musicians. If they're not vibing, they're not making any hits.
Yeah,
right.
So I just look at it and I say I'm very curious to see how LeBron clicks when he comes back with this team that seems like between Ayton, Luka, and Reeves, they actually seem like they're having fun together. If LeBron could bring that smile and that GOAT mentality that he's one of the best ever to that team and work with them, Lakers could be dangerous. I really think that way because we've all seen that coworker that's talented. But if they're like not cool to be around or they're not vibing with everyone, it doesn't matter how good they are. They're killing it.
Bronny James in tonight, Danny G?
Not that I know of.
No, right? He's still out? That's kind of weak. All right, so I think we got some contestants. Maybe got a winner.
Ooh.
Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom. Let's start with Dave in Missouri. Your chance to win a CNR on FSR Turbo Football.
Dave?
Sports do not build character. They reveal it.
Oh, that was almost
There
too
you go.
easy.
That's a winner.
Bonus points if you can tell me who that quote is from.
Yeah, he'll throw in a koozie.
Christy Martin, the world famous boxer.
Not Christy Martin.
I was going to say, I don't know, the world famous Mike from Fox Sports Radio.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I steal them sometimes.
I'll give you a hint. Big Mike is a UCLA guy.
Nothing.
Maybe the greatest coach in the history of team sports?
Matt LaFleur?
I would say Craig T. Nelson.
John Wooden, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
John Wooden.
The legendary John Wooden.
That was my next guess.
Craig T. Nelson. You mean Hayden Fox on coach?
He's the greatest coach I know.
David in Missouri, congrats. We're going to get you on the mailing list as soon as the shipment of balls arrive. You will get one in the mail.
Hey, great job, man. And everybody on hold, a lot of people chimed in on that one because that was an easy layup. But a great word of wisdom, Mike. Everyone on hold, everyone that called, we appreciate it. Your next chance to win is tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be doing more trivia, and we do this every Wednesday, Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom. So always giving away prizes on the Covino and Rich Show. We still got Midweek Major, the biggest stories in sports and pop culture. We decide, are they Midweek Major? Plus, your phone calls next, right here on Covino and Rich.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, all your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season.
Hey, new customers, bet just $5 buckaroos. Get 3 months of NBA League Pass, which is awesome. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets.
You got to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code CRSHOW. That's code
CRSHOW.
CRSHOW. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass. Plus, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins.
In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available. For problem gambling, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21-plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
We're talking Luka now,
Yeah.
and the story is, he's playing big. Like, this is Luka at his best.
He
slim
came
and
in.
trim.
He came in focused.
Let me give you some of these stats here that'll make you say, whoa.
And by the
5
way-
in a row, 40 points per game, making everyone around him look like a superstar. 40 points per game in comparison to Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg combined, 35.2 points per game. So that's perspective, right?
Okay.
And they're playing well. He's sort of leading the team, and that's when he's at his best. And they're saying that when LeBron gets in, now you got too many cooks in the kitchen.
Well, I mean, and then, Reeves hasn't played every game, but when he's in there, he's on fire. So, this team has something going on.
Also, Luka has made DeAndre Ayton very good this season.
Who, by the way, was a piece that you and other Laker fans were saying, could he be that big guy they need? And will he fit in? And apparently,
the bigs love getting those passes from Luka. It's Lob City with him.
So, Covino's question is, do we even want LeBron back? And I'm just going to quote Steve Covino, the guy sitting next to me.
No. Hold on. Don't kill the messenger. I'm saying this is the question that can only be posed based on what's happening right now. And you do hear that buzz and you do hear that speculation. It's like, if they're playing this well, it's like now you're messing with the chemistry all over again.
Well,
Let them win. Let them keep on winning.
Dare I quote you from a different circumstance?
Sure.
I'll do my best Covino voice.
Oh, boy.
This is before the World Series. Yo, bro. Dude, bro. Can I show one word dude or bro in there?
I know what this is going to be.
Bro. Yo, if I'm the Blue Jays, bro, I don't even know if you bring Bo Bichette back. Like, I mean, he might mess with the chemistry, bro.
But what he did is sort of unheard of, unprecedented. He stepped right in like he didn't miss a beat.
But you debated whether or not the Blue Jays should mess with that.
Because, dude, he hadn't played in so long, right? Not that he isn't good. No one's questioning LeBron being good. But maybe they're just better without him right now. That's all.
I think the other thing worth mentioning is Austin Reeves is also off to the best start of his career. And then throw in Jake LaRavia, who was a great offseason pickup. And now you're talking too many cooks in the kitchen, because these are guys that need the ball in their hands.
The answer may lie in between everything we're saying. Like, there's a little place in between all of our points that I think makes the most sense, which is LeBron's not done. But much like in dating, jobs, situations, you might be awesome. You might just not really be awesome for that scenario. And maybe with the current Lakers team, LeBron just doesn't fit anymore. Maybe that's the answer, because by no means is anyone saying LeBron
or
James
is he willing to take a little bit of a step back, which could be good for everybody, and let Luka really lead a little more so that he could still play like Luka and use LeBron as an option. You know what I mean?
I just don't know if he's capable of that, but I think LeBron's certainly not done. LeBron would be such an asset somewhere else. So maybe, I know the only thing that makes sense is maybe you get something for him. I don't know how that would even work at this point, but LeBron James,
would have to approve the destination.
He'd have to make it work. But
and by the way, you were shooting a messenger. You were shooting at me before. Don't think that there's not a lot of speculation of that on social media and online. That's where the buzz starts. There are a lot of people saying that. Like, maybe that's a possibility.
I get it, but LeBron's still a guy that could put up triple-doubles and
doubt.
put up 25 to 30 a game. So he's not done. I just wonder. It's like you could date a good-looking girl, Covino, but she just might not be right for Steve Covino.
True.
You know, it's like, so let's keep that in mind.
I think the difference this season so far from what we saw at the end of last year is the Lakers have the best bench they've had in a long time.
Yeah, that bench was meager, like Bob Seger.
For sure, and and you know, besides Jackson Hayes, no real big guys to mention. But you know, you got to think about how last season ended. Luka and LeBron do play well together, but it's just the other pieces like Austin Reeves and LaRavia, as I mentioned, where you got to figure out how this all fits together.
We're talking about maybe LeBron needs to go. Imagine LeBron gets healthy, steps in on this team, and they are so dominant that they win the NBA title. LeBron retires, and it's like, can you believe people were saying we should get rid of him? Like, that could very well. Like, imagine if LeBron steps in and what's already clicking clicks even more.
It would be like Dave Roberts should be fired.
Got to fire Dave Roberts, and he wins another World Series.
Yo, welcome to Stevie Steve and the Funky Bunch. Yeah, you're one of my Funky Bunch, Rich.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
You're
the
demoted.
funkiest. You're like Funky Winkerbean.
Well, hey, don't worry. You might be Stevie C and the Funky Bunch. I'm the Sausage King of New Braunfels, Texas.
Oh, you're like the Abe Froman of Texas. I like it.
Yeah.
That's Rich Davis live from
You're Abe
Texas.
Froman.
He's at the
Sausage
Worst Fest.
King of Chicago.
That's Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. Danny G is the super producer of this show. So if you like this show, big props to Danny G. And, of course, Spot getting ready for Midweek Major. Dan Byers got your updates. It's the show. Thank you guys for being part of it.
Before we get to Midweek Major, I want to tell Charles Barkley that two things. A, he was my favorite NBA player of the 90s. I was always a big Sir Charles fan. Loved him as a Sixer, even more as a Phoenix Sun. I always loved Charles Barkley. Love him on his commentating.
Yeah, but you said you loved his song Crazy. And I was like, that's not him, dude. That's Gnarls Barkley.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Rich was like, and he was a great singer. I was like, no, he's not.
You guys are terrible. You're terrible.
Terrible.
You guys are terrible.
I have a fun fact about Gnarls Barkley in a second.
No, it's okay, man. We're good.
No, I'm going to give it to you. I don't care what you say.
Yo, we're really good. We got midweek major.
Yeah, look at the time.
I want. You know what? F all you guys. I'm going to tell you. I disagree with Charles Barkley because when I'm down here in South Texas, San Antonio, Austin area, he always says the women are a bunch of tortas and he doesn't like the women. I feel like down here, Sam, and tell all your single friends. I told Shay, one of the producers, go to Texas. It's like hot blondes and gorgeous Latino women. It's like
sign us up.
Everyone is ridiculously good looking down here. But Gnarls Barkley, that song "Crazy" from the 2000s.
I'm so mad I brought this up.
Is this like did you get this on a calendar, like Gnarls Barkley Fun Fact of the Day?
Gnarls Barkley, you nimrods, is CeeLo Green and Danger Mouse. And guess where they met? The University of Georgia. They were playing an event for the Bulldogs, college football, and they said, we like each other. Let's work together. And they made that song. So, see, it ties into college football, you bozos.
Great story. Live from Fox Sports Radio for over 40 years. Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Are you ready, Dickie Davis?
Yeah, I'd rather see the story of CeeLo Green and Danger Mouse than Christy Martin. But go on.
I can't deny
It's time for Spotty's Midweek Major.
Covino and Rich get you over the middle of the week with Midweek Major.
Ooh, I love that.
We throw sports and pop culture headlines and topics at the fellas, and it's like the kids say.
That's so mid. Week, definitely major.
CNR scoring. Midweek Major.
Yeah, let's go quite quickly. Covino threw me off because he's pop locking in the next room.
You were better off just sticking with the full intro.
Yeah, I know. Jeez, man. All right. Well, and the other thing that has thrown us off today, Rich is in Texas. We normally throw those two big red love dice on the floor in there.
Oh, Rich, you didn't pull one on the plane with you? Oh, man.
Extra $40 for a love dice carry-on. All right, so number 1 through 10, Covino.
Should I shout it?
Yeah, go for it.
6.
All right, Rich, whoever comes closest.
Gary Carter, Steve Young, number 8.
You should have said 7.
6, 7.
It's not 6'8", you bozo.
The number's 3. Covino gets to go first.
Yeah. Exciting.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most famous person besides Judy Blume from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Spotty Boy.
I don't even know where to begin. But you know what? We will start with the Christie movie, since we've been talking about it. You just mentioned it now. People, of course, backlash coming off of that from the poor box office performance. Jumping in, fellow actress Ruby Rose. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She was on Orange is the New Black in the John Wick movies. So she went on a rant on social media platform Threads saying that the original script was incredible and life-changing and that she was actually slated to play Christy Martin in the film. She said that, it was a great script. Everyone involved with the project was gay because she's also gay, and Christy Martin gay as well. And saying that for Sydney Sweeney's PR to say that the flop had to do with she was just doing it for the people is horrible. She called her a cretin. She said that Christy Martin deserves better. As you know, the movie only pulled in $1.3 million at the box office this weekend, and if it holds at that, going to be the worst movie opening in movie history, midweek or major.
It's turning out to be a major story because
definitely major.
The story of how bad it's doing is actually becoming bigger than the story of Christy Martin. Everybody's talking about it today, and Rich and you and I have been debating it all day long. I am team Sydney Sweeney all the way. She said that sometimes art isn't about the numbers. It's about the impact. And his story was to be impactful and motivational, and it was supposed to inspire women because that's what Christy Martin's story was. So to focus on the numbers here is a little tone deaf because this is a story about overcoming. Unfortunately, it sometimes is a numbers game. But I feel like Ruby Rose, let's tie it back to boxing. When it comes to bullying, you can't You punch up, you can't punch down, as they say. And I feel like Ruby Rose has to punch up at Sydney Sweeney because who really cares about Ruby Rose? Everybody's talking about Sydney Sweeney. She's the it girl. So that's how you want to get your name in the news. You want to attack someone more famous than you.
I think it's major.
Definitely major.
Only because of the magnitude of the people involved. To quote James Franco, and remember the movie The Interview? Don't be so peanut butter and jealous.
Yeah.
It's like if Ruby Rose was in it, it would make $100 million. Get the hell out of here. I just think the content was made for Netflix or HBO Max or something like that. I don't think anyone was seeing a Christy Martin movie expecting big money.
It was made for
Hey,
Tubi.
Ruby Rose, listen, she's the hot, short-haired lesbian that Spot pointed out. She's Sydney Sweeney's gorgeous. They're both good-looking. That's not I don't know what the debate is here. Like, she thinks if she played
She
Christy
called her
Martin
a cretin, dude. So she's sort of hitting below the belt. Another boxing pun.
Maybe she's flirting.
She's hitting below the belt when Sydney Sweeney just did her best to portray Christy Martin.
That's where she does her
Christy
best work.
Martin gave her the endorsement. Who cares what Ruby Rose says?
Yeah. Well, have him mud wrestle to figure it out.
I'm sorry. I'm ashamed
I had to
of
look
that.
up what a cretin is. It sounds like something from an evangelical pastor.
Well,
it's a
from the-
stupid person.
Well, yeah, but it has to reference people from the island
Isn't
of
that
Crete.
what like Ann Esther called Fred Sanford?
As a cretin.
I'm pretty sure she did.
Did you guys anyone pay attention in school? All right, Mike Tyson, as we know, his next big opponent slated to be Floyd Mayweather, fighting next month in next year in an exhibition. Well, he's revealed actually his latest opponent, and that's toe fungus. So Tyson made an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel's show and discussed his habit that he used to fight without socks, saying that it was done strictly for the fashion. He said that it was hardcore and intimidating to fight without socks. Well, he said that it led to a, quote, disintegrating dose of foot fungus. And it was really bad, and it's still really bad. So Kimmel even joked about turning it into its sponsorship with the product Desinex, and he said, "It can't help me. My toes look like they blew up." So his toes are disgusting and in bad condition.
Well, you know what could happen. Your
major.
feet is major because your feet could
Definitely
burst into
major.
flames, and that's why John Madden always endorsed Tough Actin' Tenactin. Because if you don't watch, remember they'd go in fire.
Yeah, in the shower, then there's flames coming out of the feet
Yeah.
in the shower because they were so itchy.
Spot, you're an expert in hongo foot.
I did have I've had a bit of a foot fungus, but I went to the
got
doctor
hongo
and
foot.
took care of it.
You know what? In today's world, here's the deal.
Can't you get antibiotics
If
for
you
that?
remember,
can.
I had the hongo foot. That's why I didn't wear socks. Hongo foot. It seems like the Livy Dunn. Remember when Livy Dunn was caught out there with sweaty armpits, and then she got an endorsement? The more Mike Tyson owns his foot fungus,
I got
the more he's open to endorsements, and he's probably making money as a result. So it seems to be a blueprint for money nowadays.
Yeah.
So, Spot,
Bro.
you might as well talk about your hemorrhoids. Maybe someone will sponsor you.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
You know
I'm
what?
sitting on a donut right now.
I think
Preparation
it's,
H.
I think it's mid because a lot of people have foot fungus, but
That's
major
so mid.
because it's Mike Tyson.
Definitely major.
And anything about Mike Tyson's interesting. Tough acting, tenactin.
My toes blew up.
Kavino, it's so funny. I wrote that exactly what you said.
monsters living
With-
under my toenails.
With all my serial killers scratch markings today on my page, I wrote Livy Dunn's armpits.
Oh.
When you're popular like Livy Dunn or Mike Tyson, you
Creep.
can turn, as you say, turn dilemmas into lemonade. And you know what? Mike Tyson don't need the money, but he could probably get a sweet toe fungus endorsement deal.
Yeah. I bet you. Knock out your toe fungus with hongo foot. Mike Tyson endorsed. Like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever product it is, he'd be the spokesman. He is the spokesman. Congrats.
All right, NBA, over to the NBA. They officially announced their plans and format for the upcoming NBA All-Star Game. I know we teased it in the past, but they made the official announcement yesterday, which is set to take place at LA's Intuit Dome on February 15th. So rather than being divided into conferences, Eastern and Western Conference, they're going to be going international. So there will be two teams consisting of American stars and one international team that will compete in a round-robin tournament consisting of 4 12-minute games. After the first 3 games, the two teams with the best record will face for the championship. This apparently has been in talks for years to move to this format, but as you remember with the success of NHL's Four Nations face-off, it was a bit of a catalyst pushing this forward. Picking teams will remain the same. Position designations will no longer be a factor. Starters determined by voting from fans, other players, and media. Fans think it's a horrible idea. They've been hating the All-Star
outta
game the
here.
past few years and think it's
great.
only going to get worse.
No.
And the funniest thing is, they're like, the international team is going to kick the American team's ass because think about the international team. Giannis, Jokic, SGA, Luka, and Wemby. So put those 5 guys on a team, and the American teams do not stand a chance, midweek or major.
Oh, this is major.
Definitely major.
You said it with hockey. It worked. It was great. You got the World Baseball Classic. You got football trying to become an international sport. They were just in Germany and had a great turnout and a great game. Soccer and fighting, obviously international sports. Basketball's been there, and now it's time to own it and lean into it. And it's time for the Americans to step up and reclaim their game, man. And I think that's so cool. I love when nation pride is involved. You're more passionate about it, and it only helps the NBA, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I'd rather watch Christie. I'm kidding. No, I think this is great. I will say, Spot nailed it. I think it's major.
Definitely major.
When you go back to the Dream Team and what Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, what they did globally for the game,
Christian Laettner
Christian Laettner is uncomparable. But look at what it's done. It's now made the international team far superior. When Spot named those people, SGA, Luka, Wemby, that team is going to whoop the American team. So, like, you're right. It's time for the U.S. to try to put together their team. I think it's worth watching. I think it's cool.
I think it's very cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Spot.
Great stuff, man. Great story, Spotty boy.
Over to the man. Dan Byer, take it away.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Spot. Let's get into news from the NFL as Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback for the Giants in their Week 11 matchup with the Packers on Sunday. Jackson Dart is not going to start because of the concussion. Russell Wilson demoted to third on the depth chart, but likely to be Winston's backup on Sunday as Dart is not expected to be available for the game. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice today. Signs that he could start against the Cardinals returning from a toe injury. Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. will not play in the game. In fact, he could miss multiple games after having surgery for an appendicitis. Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud didn't practice today. He's got a concussion that he suffered in Week 9. Broncos held running back J.K. Dobbins out of practice today as they contemplate whether to put him on injured reserve with a foot injury. And Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson missed practice today as well, but he should be on the practice field tomorrow. Dealing with a sore knee, he's expected to start in Cleveland coming up on Sunday. Former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown was released on $25,000 bond and placed under house arrest as he faces second-degree attempted murder charges in Florida. LA Clippers guard Bradley Beal done for the season. He needs surgery to repair a fracture in his hip. LeBron James for the Lakers took part in 5-on-5 drills in practice with the G League South Bay Lakers. Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo out tonight for their matchup in Charlotte against the Hornets. And 2 baseball notes. Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz entered a not guilty plea in federal court today for his alleged role in the gambling scandal, released on $500,000 bond. He's due back in court next week. Cy Young Awards to be handed out after the top of the hour. Guys, back to you.
All right.
Yo,
Thank you, DB.
I got to ask DB, how do you feel about your Seahawks against the Rams this weekend? That's a big game. Both 7-2. Someone's trying to get first place there, buddy boy.
Yeah, if you're asking, I think they're going to win. I think they have an opportunity, but I want to see them play against the team that I think is the best in the NFL right now. So I think it's just a good measuring stick. I'm not so much concerned about the win and loss, although it'd be really nice to get a win.
Hey, it's not like SoFi won't have Seahawks fans cheering. Are you going to try to go, or are you busy this weekend?
I have my show on Sundays that Covino knows about, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, Rich Davis. Mm-hmm. Remember, you guys always turn it on when you guys are gathering at Rich's house during the late games. You turn down the TV and you play the show that Kerry Rhodes and I do.
All the time.
You
You're
do.
a Covino guy. I get it. Covino
All
guy
the time.
today. Oh, man. But Rams are 3.5-point favorites, but I sort of like your Seahawks to put up a fight this weekend. That's a good game.
How about this late window? I'm curious to see your big screen TV, but you got you guys are going to be at the game, so it's not going to matter, but Cardinals, Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Chiefs, Broncos, and then Ravens, Browns. So that's your late window coming up in Week 11.
Pretty good stuff. Pretty good. Thank you, DB.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dan. All right. So, Rich, we still have a few things to get to. I don't know if you want to talk about overrated. How about a choose your adventure? Overrated, Jordan Love. Do you want to talk about Skeens being a Yankee?
Stop. No.
Or do you want to talk about burner accounts?
No, Skeens being a Yankee would make me want to throw up. So
I want to talk about that.
Let's talk about Jordan Love, a little NFL. Labeling people too soon, we'll get to it next. CNR on FSR. Hang tight.
Baltimore Ravens removed a basketball hoop, a ping pong table, cornhole boards, and a video game console. It was like Pee-wee's Playhouse in there.
Not Pac-Man.
They had a full-on playroom.
Did they get rid of Globey?
Yeah.
Cherry, no.
They removed the gaming consoles all from the locker room. It actually started after week 4. So week 4, 5, 6, they had nothing there to entertain them. And it was Harbaugh's way of, like, punishing them. And we speculated, like, is this going to work? Because it doesn't seem to be working. And that's where we turn it over to you. Yes, these are men, but they're not grown men. Keep that in mind. But you don't want to treat them like children either. Like, hey, you guys get no toys. But now we're talking, hey, things may be turning around. He had a nice win over the Bears, 30-16.
The coaching staff, including John Harbaugh, deny that they were the ones that made the decision to remove this stuff. Veteran players are saying it was their decision.
Okay.
But
fair enough. The story was that Harbaugh,
yes.
right? Well, he was part of the story, and his image is there, so we're led
Right.
to believe that it's their call, the coach's call that did this. You know, what are your thoughts on that? And it's not considered punishment. I guess you could say it's consequence, or, hey, we got to get our head in the game, we got to focus. You know, or do you look at it like a punishment? And as a kid who was never punished, big shock, I don't vibe with that, man. You know, people need to take accountability and be accountable. But at the same time, you need to try everything to see if it works. What are your thoughts? Do you think you could punish grown men, well, not grown men, just men, and get positive results, or more resentment than anything else?
I don't think an old hard-ass type of vibe works with everyone, but if the veteran players that have been there, Danny G, I'm talking about the guys on the Ravens that have been to AFC championship games, guys that have seen what it's like to make a postseason run. If those guys are telling the young cats, yo, time to stop all this horse crap. Like,
well, you know what? Let me play devil's advocate. I'll be Keanu Reeves. So, because he's in devil's advocate.
Yeah, no,
don't believe in chemistry builders? Is that what you're saying? So when you're just sitting there, then what do you do? What do you do?
All right, I'll play devil's advocate.
No. All right, who are you?
I'll be Al Pacino.
Okay, fine.
You think ping pong's the answer?
You know what? I'll show you big time.
I'll show you ping pong.
I do, and I'm glad you said that, because let me take you back again.
Yeah.
When I first heard this story,
Yeah.
I thought to myself, well, this isn't going to work. And it turns out that, hey, they won yesterday, and Jackson's coming back, and maybe. When I first heard this story, I'm like, you're punishing these young football players? That's not going to work. That's the opposite of what's going to work. That's counterproductive. Because when you take it back to our early days of broadcasting in the early 2000s, we had a ping pong table in the lobby of Sirius XM. Dude, nothing brought people together harder than that ping pong table. It was dudes from the hip hop channel playing dudes from the rock channel, and then the dude from the country channel would come and battle someone from the R&B channel.
I remember Covino having a battle. Remember, you know, Sway from MTV Sway?
Yeah,
Of
dude,
course, world famous wake up show.
But dude, we'd be talking smack. We got to know each other. We were having fun, right? We'd sit there in the lobby, just all with one company coming together because of the ping pong table. So when they told the story of they're removing the basketball hoop, the ping pong table, the video games, I'm like, dude, you're taking away the chemistry of this team. So I'm a little torn because time has gone, and now we're entering week 9, and I'm like, maybe I was wrong. But I'm standing my ground and saying that these are things that build chemistry. I don't know how it's going to turn around, but it seems like it has, at least for a week. What are your thoughts on punishing adults, punishing kids?
It's so subjective.
Taking their fun away. I don't know. To me, these are chemistry builders.
I think it's hard to really gauge because for everyone that doesn't like to be given tough love, some people respond to it. It's so subjective. You got 53 grown men.
That is true.
Some are going to respond to, like, me. I'm okay with tough love. Covino doesn't like criticism. Covino likes pats on the back.
True. Yeah, no, there's different personalities in every locker room. I get it.
Hey, Cove.
Hey, Rich, any more Gnarls Barkley fun facts?
I was going to say, if you want me to tell you more about their friendship, I can.
Can you tell me more about Danger Mouse?
Yeah, I mean, he was like, hey, CeeLo, I like working with you. We should do a song together, and the rest is history. Go Bulldogs.
Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember, our show sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA. And right now, use the promo code CRSHOW to claim your special offer at DraftKings. Again, that's promo code CRSHOW, CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
And getting a new job can be so much easier, so very much easier with Express Employment Pros. With Express, you'll have a local connection to the job market. Get started at expresspros.com to find the location near you. That's www.expresspros.com. Now, Covino, I got to ask, for my flight home tonight, I know you're very excited to see me in
Can't
studio
wait.
tomorrow. Should I download the Eddie Murphy doc that it dropped today on Netflix if people want a little something to watch? Eddie
Hell
Murphy.
yeah, I'm going to watch that. But the A-Rod one is also really intriguing. I think new episode I think is tomorrow.
And that's on HBO Max?
HBO Max, but
Okay.
episode 1 is out, and you get some great insight on what makes him tick, his relationship with his dad, insight from his ex-wife, again, about how he's emotionally stunted, and you just see what A-Rod was like growing up. Really intriguing figure, so check that out, too. Or I mentioned Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein's on Netflix. It's actually pretty decent so far. I didn't finish it yet.
I'd rather watch Frankenstein with Guillermo from Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Sounds more exciting. All right.
Also, if you're a basketball fan, there is a great new Allen Iverson documentary that just dropped.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, there's always something great.
I get nowadays in sports, it feels like if you're awesome, like you sort of get a cool documentary. That's got to be a cool feeling. Going players know, like, yeah, one day it'll be a great doc about my life.
I mean, I've watched them all, so I guess there's money to be made.
All right. Well,
Check
listen,
it out.
before we get out of here, I know that you had a problem with people saying Jordan Love. Are we realizing he's overrated? And I just think that you said it before, and I'll back up what you said, that we are so quick. Like, everyone wants to label everything, and I get it. It's part of the sports media game and the politics game. People love to label. People in society love to label everything, who they are, what they are, but then at the same time, they don't want to be labeled. It's a very interesting thing. Jordan Love's a young man in life, a young man on the field. How could you, when you see what happens with Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield and guys that were like at the bottom and
Or how
found their way
about
back
Hall
up?
of Famers who had just a few off years? Peyton Manning in his third or fourth year wasn't all that stellar. I mean, some quarterbacks with Hall of Fame careers got off to terrible starts. His story's not written. People need to stop with it. I just think it's something that we need to – it's like BS sort of conversation. It's like Josh Allen's overrated. Or maybe it's as simple as he's just not having the best year. For all we know, he still might win the Super Bowl. But
And guess who's won Super Bowls with like their not spectacular number of years? I don't know, a guy named Patrick Mahomes, right? I mean, guys don't always win during their best offensive statistical years. And we're also way exaggerating because right now, Jordan Love, I know we're at the halfway point. Last year, he had 25 tutties, 11 picks. Right now, 13-3 with a better quarterback rating. We're making it seem like the Packers are under 500 and they're under-delivering. If anything, like Matt LaFleur seems to be the one that people are like, well, is Matt LaFleur not delivering? Jordan Love's 27 years old, dude. Bakersfield, California kid in his third real full season as quarterback. So with that said, we're talking about a guy who's in season 3.
and we've seen his potential, right? So that's it. Like, it's not like we don't know he's good. He's just not having a decent year. He's having a decent year right now.
He
He's not having a really
started
good
off
year.
this season hot,
Right.
remember? And then we were hearing the narrative, oh, see, he's taken another step forward. And now suddenly, a few games later, he's overrated.
People love to say that. And again, this is according to Bleacher Report, and then that starts to create some buzz, and then people run with that narrative.
Well, look at that division. The Lions are 6-3. The Bears are 6-3. The Packers are 5-3-1. Is that one lame-ass tie against the Cowboys that have it off kilter? But the reality is they're right there. They're a half a game out of their division, and they still have divisional games. So for all we know, Packers are a home team, playoff team, and we're going to just forget this stupid conversation never existed.
We're just a label crazy culture, and this is more proof of that. All right, so we'll see Rich back in L.A. tomorrow.
All right, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Bye.
Later, guys.